So it's 20 to 6 in the morning here in Dublin, Ireland, and I'm a very happy bunny for the most part, but I'm also a very tired bunny, and I'm just going to get this done quickly so I can go to bed. Um, Mostly enjoyable night. Couldn't really pick out a bad match, and we'll talk about the finish of the main event when we get to the main event, but for now, let's just sprint through this because I want to go to bed. Okay, Cruiserweight title match was fine. Tony Nese, great. Women's Battle Royal, Carmella became the first woman to be eliminated first from last year's Battle Royal and then win the next year's Battle Royal. Also, they repeated the spot from last year where someone thinks they won, but then someone else was never eliminated, so there was that. Nice to see Sarah Logan get a bit of a push. Uh, the Raw Tag title match, it was the correct booking. Like for a guy in Hawkins who's lost 269 straight matches, it was good to um, that he didn't outright beat the Revival, just caught him with a surprise roll up. That makes booking sense. And then Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was good. A few lads absolutely killed themselves with their eliminations. Ali and Lindsay Dorado spring to mind. So we started off the main card. Hogan came out, didn't care. Then Lesnar Rollins was first. Now I don't know if Brock Lesnar's ever opened a pay per view. He probably has. He probably did back in his first run, but I certainly can't remember it. And because of the three babyface wins we were going to see, no one thought that Rollins, Kofi, and Becky were all going to win because they thought they wouldn't clump it together. So this was an ingenious way to make sure that they all happened and they all had an impact. And yeah, Rollins wins, not clean, but to be fair, not winning not clean is fine because Lesnar shouldn't look too weak because he's going off to UFC. And also, Lesnar losing this shows that wins and losses do matter. When I saw Brock be pinned and not kick out immediately like he did at SummerSlam against Reigns, it felt big. It felt like, what am I actually seeing? So, yeah, we need more in that. For anyone who says wins and losses don't matter, this proves them wrong. What was next? AJ Orton. Yeah, this had a lot to live up to after the massiveness of the opening match, but they did well. I think it was a very good. If this happened match, is it something? Again, it's like 5:45 in the morning. I'm really tired. If this match happened on SmackDown in the main event, it would have been an excellent SmackDown main event. Bit surprised that Styles won, but that's not a complaint at all. Then we had the four-way tag for the SmackDown tag titles, which was exactly what it needed to be. Fun spot fest, everyone got showcased. And the Usos retained, which I think is good. For my money, they're the best tag team in the world, and they should be champions. And yeah, they shouldn't be losing it in a four-way that in the grand scheme of things, not many people will remember as one of the big things of WrestleMania. What was next? Was it? Yeah, Miz versus Shane. First of all, someone give an Oscar to George Mizanin because that man has charisma. That's my hand. That man has charisma. Yeah. I'm knackered. Again, 5.5 hour show, and what are you gonna do? I really, really like the finish. That's probably the biggest bump Miz has ever taken. And Shane just eking out the finish was funny. Fun little spot fest that. Was the women's tag titles were next? Yep. Really glad the Iconics won the women's tag titles. They perfected their act, and they may not be elite workers, but they are good wrestlers. And the way they won it, like Beth hit the glam slam on Bailey from the top rope, but then she got thrown out, and the Iconics stole the pin. That's perfect for their characters, and I hope they have a really good reign coming out of this. Kofi Mania was next, and this was probably the match of the night. Because of the finish to the women's match, I think this was the match of the night because there was all the emotion of the women's match, and as it went on, it just turned into a real battle of attrition. Kofi and Bryan were properly grappling, and you felt like whoever won that grappling exchange would win the match. I really liked Daniel Bryan mockingly going, "Yes, yes, yes." That was fantastic. And the scenes at the end when Kofi won were just unbelievable. I believe the first African American WWE champion. That's massive. But Hogan loved that. And yeah, just seeing the original belt come back, the new merch, Kofi with his kids, it was perfect. So Joe Mysterio had their work cut out for them, but it was a minute squash, which I think worked on a few levels. It gave Joe a dominant win. It didn't burn out the crowd anymore because they had nothing to give for that match. And if Ray was hurt, as it was alluded that he was the week before Mania, it worked. This match worked all around. Reigns Drew was, I think, similar to AJ Orton, a very good Raw match. Reigns wins. It did what it needed to do. Then we had the Elias bit. I don't know if Elias actually can play the guitar and drums, the piano and drums even, but yeah, that was it was really really good, and it was fun to see the Doctor of Thugonomics back. Also, I was expecting the Undertaker to show up, but he didn't. So that's the first WrestleMania since WrestleMania in 2000 not to have the Undertaker on it. Maybe he is retired. But, you know, what was next? Triple H Batista. I'll be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to this match because I was knackered at this stage, but Triple H ripped out Batista's nose ring with a pair of pliers. That's juicy. And it finished with Triple H kind of hitting. It was almost like a Superman punch with a sledgehammer, which was really funny. And pedigree, and yeah, if this was Batista's last match, it was a good way to go out. Also, I found it funny that Ric Flair came out for this match, but not his daughter's match, and when his daughter was in the main event. The man has his priorities straight. I believe, what was next? It was Angle Corbin. People across that Angle didn't win this, but he is the type of guy who'll put the young lad over on his way out. So, whether or not Corbin can capitalize on this heat is all down to what the booking crew do with him now. But yeah, Kurt Angle, what a way to end your career. Props, really fantastic career, and if this is it, good man. Also, he threw more Germans than Brock Lesnar did in his match. Yeah, Lashley Balor again. This, along with Angle Corbin, were both really short, which was fine. You needed the kind of short matches because the crowd couldn't give it to everything. Lashley had green contact lenses, which was funny. He speared Balor through the ropes, which is terrifying bump. But Balor wins, which is fine. New IC champion, great. He shouldn't have lost in the first place, I think. And then the main event. Now, first off, again, I'm really very, very tired, so my brain's not working at its best. People will complain about the build-up was being too convoluted, but the build to Mania X7 between Rock and Austin was convoluted as well. Remember when Austin's wife was made The Rock's manager for no reason? Yeah, it happens. Only the match delivers. That can be forgiven. I think for the most part it did deliver. It was hard hitting. Despite all signs pointing to Becky winning, I genuinely wasn't sure. Charlotte has main evented more WrestleManias than her dad did. Imagine saying that 10 years ago. Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, okay. So the finish is going to rile a lot of people. And it did come... Okay, it did come a bit out of nowhere. But the fact that the commentators were pointing so much to Ronda's shoulders being up gives scope for a rematch, and that Ronda Becky one-on-one match is going to be a big draw. If there was a better way to do it, maybe telegraph the roll up a bit more. Maybe like a rake of the eyes followed by a roll up when Ronda's shoulders didn't come up. That would have been nice. But I don't think anyone is complaining that Becky Lynch has both belts. So um, I'm prepared to accept the finish for now. It all depends on how they capitalize it on Raw and SmackDown. So overall, WrestleMania was a great show. I really enjoyed it, despite the fact that it completely drained me, and I'm very much looking forward to going to my bed now. Um. Oh yeah, one more thing before I go. The sorry, I think I fell asleep with my eyes open there. It was weird if you were watching on the network to have the end of WrestleMania with Becky pulling the belt up, and then after a commercial for Snickers, I think it replayed WrestleMania, and you were straight back to the start with your one singing "America the Beautiful," and you're like, I was here 5 hours ago. I've spent the last 5 hours sitting in the exact same spot doing the exact same thing for 5 hours. Anyway, WrestleMania was a great show. Becky won, Balor won, Irish eyes are smiling. Oh, and go Kofi Mania.